First, I'm not a morning person, which you may assume, but I'm not. You get into the rhythm of waking up early in the morning, and you probably don't even need your clock after a certain while. The baker's life is different from the normal people's life, in the sense that we do work at different hours, coming early in the morning, which is essentially I found a beautiful thing, to wake up when everything is quiet and come down to work. All the other people are still sleeping, and we are turning on the lights, turning on the ovens, and we really bring life into that bakery. There is a certain satisfaction from that, that you feel you're part of a different world somehow. And seeing the dawn, the sun rising early morning when you've got a lot of work behind already, and the smell of the bread is coming up together with the sun rising, is a beautiful moment every morning. Bread essentially should be fermented to be called bread and to be what it is. It has always been the case for thousands of years. Fermentation has been cut out of the process in large industrial baking plants. The fermentation was quickened by the addition of yeast in large quantities to make it as short as possible, therefore eliminating almost completely the fermentation and leading to what is today known as a sliced pan. Sliced pan to me should not be called bread, should not be allowed to be called bread as such. Bread has been around for thousands of years and has been called that name, and strongly linked to certain methods of making bread, slowly made usually over time, whereas sliced pan or commercial bread is usually made in 30 to 45 minutes, and therefore does not respect the traditional way of making bread. Time is the main component of bread making. We bakers are assistant to the bread happening, to the bread developing, and we intervene at regular times to check the dough, to make sure that it is at the stage we want. If it's not, we adapt ourselves. But time is the dough best friend. It's the bread best friend, and there should be plenty of time allowed for bread making. Industrial plants don't really see it the same way and do not have the time to let the dough sit around in every corner of the bakery and wait for it to rise slowly. So our process is about 48 hours in total, and that's starting from refreshing a small piece of sourdough to having a sourdough ready, and then making the dough, and then shaping the bread, and eventually baking it. And this is what gives the quality of our bread and the taste and the keeping qualities as well. In industrial bread is a completely different process from what we could call artisan bread making, or bread made in the traditional way. These to me are two different products. Bread made in industrial plants is not bread to me and should not be called so. The legislation, however, is not there to specify how bread should be made and what should go into bread, other than flour, water and salt. It's a daily reward of hardship, but rewarded every day by beautiful breads coming out of the oven, and really that's what it is about. After that, the next greatest reward is obviously to hand a loaf of bread to happy customers who are returning here every day, and your bread becomes their daily bread, and that is the most satisfying thing a baker can get, a smile and a thank you.